Hey everyone, I'm back and I've brought with me none other than Zojalyx. Let's welcome them onto the stream. Hello.
Hello,
Hello,
everybody. My
everybody.
name
My
is
name is
Zojalyx, and I
Zojalyx, and I
am very
am very
excited to be running the
excited to
Lord
be
of the
running the
Rings,
Lord of the
the
Rings,
Two
the Two
Towers, Aragorn
Towers,
Easy.
Aragorn
For you
Easy.
guys, this is
For
the
you
main
guys, this is the
category
main
for this
category
game,
for this
and this
game,
is
and this
my
is
personal
my
favorite
personal
speedrun. I've
favorite
been running this
speedrun.
game
I've been
since
running this game since
2018. So we're
2018.
going to jump
So we're
right
going to
into
jump
the
right into
run
the
here, but in
run
order to
here.
do
But in
this
order to
first,
do this
I'm going to be
first, I'm going to
saving
be
from this
saving from this already
saved.
completed save file. What this does is this will allow us to skip all of the FMV cutscenes that happen throughout the run, so we don't have to see any of those moments. We don't get to see any cool scenes from the movie, but that's okay. We will be showing that off. You won't be seeing them for Return of the King either when I do run that. So either way, that's taken care of. So timer is going to start once we skip this first cutscene. Obviously, we're playing on easy, so I selected easy, and we're going to go ahead and jump in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so we're going to immediately jump right into this. I'm already seeing a lot of love in chat from the Lord of the Rings community, but we start off with the best thing ever, and that is an auto-scroller. But in this auto-scroller, it is actually a pretty important auto-scroller because we are going to be taking a period of time throughout this auto-scroller here to get some EXP that is going to be a lot more useful throughout the run, because the EXP that we take in this prologue, despite the fact that we are not technically playing as Aragorn at this point in time, will be carrying over to the rest of the game. So we're going to be wanting to get about 1,000 EXP, and I'll be explaining how that will work after I count, because believe it or not, it is very difficult to count to 6 in this game and talk at the same time, especially when you have a brain like mine. So what is going to happen right now is I'm going to be using this specific combo here that is called Isildur's Judgment. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. My game is kind of lagging a little bit, but that should be fine. Oh, come on. 5, 6. Okay, we're going to do 7 for safety. Okay, that was 7. Perfect. So, what is happening in this is I am using this combo called Isildur's Judgment. And how Isildur's Judgment works is, so on my controller here, because I can use this as a visual aid since we have the time to do it. There are 2 different main types of attacks that we use throughout the run. There is my A button, which is a swift attack. That will be a super fast attack, but doesn't do as much damage. The second attack is the Y button. The Y button will be a fierce attack. It is slightly slower, but does the most amount of damage. The combo that I'm doing is Y, Y, X, and then Y. And you'll see him slam, Isildur's Judgment shows up on the screen. Boom, beautiful, everything's great. I'm going to do a quick refresh of my Amarek here. This is normal, don't worry, don't freak out. It's just a quick little thing that I can do to help fix the lag. Okay, so, the reason why that combo is very important is because that then sets us up for getting into perfect mode. And what perfect mode is in this game is when you see down in the bottom left corner, there's that damage meter. If that fills up, my sword starts to glow, that meter glows, and then I do the maximum amount of damage possible, as well as I gain the most amount of EXP possible. And since at the end of every single one of these levels, there's going to be like a tally screen where the game is going to be calculating all of the EXP that we get. And we want to maximize the amount of EXP by minimizing the amount of kills. And so even though we're in an auto-scroller, it's very important that we get to that 1,000 EXP and as little kills as possible to save as much time as possible at the end of this prologue. But now we've hit this cutscene. Isildur is just going to die, and then we are going to be moving on. So overall, pretty good. We got the 1,000 EXP and about 200 extra to just kind of give ourselves a little area of wiggle room. And now we're going to be moving into Weathertop. Weathertop is our first actual level as Aragorn, and we are going to be attacking these ring wraiths. There's more counting that we have to do, but I'm going to be chaining these fierce attack combos here. I'm trying to do it in a way where I can keep the ring wraiths stun locked, but I don't want to do too much damage too fast, because then I get into perfect mode too early. And the reason is for that is because we want to get into perfect mode at the end of this wraith here, because as we get into this final set of wraiths, I'm in perfect mode, I do the most amount of damage, I take out 2 right away that are spawned at the same time. The backup strat, if you're in perfect mode too early or not in perfect mode here, is a really, really tight stun lock against that log there, but we don't have to worry about it because we got into our perfect mode, and that's going to be the end of that level. So, yeah, there's a lot that's going to be happening throughout this run. This run does go at a really, really fast pace, so we're just going to go as quickly as possible to try and obviously get through the game quickly. So, now we're moving on to our next level, which is the Gates of Moria. Gates of Moria is now where the game kind of becomes what you normally expect throughout the game, where you can choose between Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli. But because this is the Aragorn category, we require the new game. If you're playing Legolas or Gimli, you don't have to do Prologue or Weathertop. So, in Gates of Moria, a lot of the levels throughout this game are honestly going to seem a little straightforward of just running and avoiding enemies. But this is honestly where some of the beauty of this speedrun can come in, because we're going to be adapting to our enemies' movements on the fly the entire time. And while for a lot of times it may seem like this game is just a complete mess of RNG, it honestly is a lot more consistent than people would give it credit for. A lot of the movements that the enemies do are pretty pretty predictable, and they do actually have a lot of abilities to be able to adapt to them on the fly without losing too much time. So as I'm going throughout this run, you'll see a lot of those moments happen especially in this level. This level, being that it is the first major movement level of the game, has a lot of precise pathing, and one of the runners that actually really helped to kind of optimize the pathing for this level is a runner by the name of Rylan Hand. He is the second place runner in, I think, pretty much every single category that exists. Ryland is second place in it, and I'm only saying, and I'm first place, but basically Rylan has optimized the movement for this level to be what it is today. And so while it may just look like I'm trying to avoid enemies, the pathing is a lot more specific than what would normally be seen and in just a, hey, avoid enemies. And so, yeah, overall, that is some fantastic movement, and getting through as fast as I did there without getting hit is actually really, really good. There are a lot of moments where the enemies can have you completely stuck, and then you will not be able to get through get through the rest of the parts of the level. So this is the Watcher in the Water. He is the least consistent boss fight in the entire game. So he has these tentacles that are going to raise up out of the water, and with those tentacles, we have to block them, slash them, and then shoot him. We actually got a really good pattern there, and it ended up working out really, really well for us, and that was a phenomenally clean fight, and that then ends the level for Gates of Moria. And with that, we are now also going to be moving into our first set of menuing here. I'm going to be grabbing a few specific abilities here. Nope, yes, I am done upgrading. We are grabbing Isildur's Swift Terror, and then we are grabbing a Ranger Fury. So this is the main early game combo that we use in this run. It is another very, very useful run. Another useful combo, and we really are going to be utilizing it a lot as we go into our next level here, Balin's Tomb. Now, Balin's Tomb is a level that, again, from the surface, this area appears to be an auto-scroller. There are going to be goblins coming in just pretty much non-stop. And the game, normally you would look at this and think it's an auto-scroller, the game will just go on a timer. But we have actually found that there is a good chunk of variance throughout this level. And there actually is a method to getting through this game, through getting through this section of the level quickly. And that is killing a lot of enemies fast. And in a hack and slash game, you would think that that would be really easy, but there are these goblins here that have shields, and they like to mess everything up. And just like with any game where you have to fight enemies, there is always a good amount of enemy RNG that does come into play. And so with that, it is really important that we are able to crowd control these enemies well and continue to get ourselves into perfect mode. Perfect mode, you can see I'm in right now. Since I am in perfect mode, I'm able to just shoot a lot of enemies and just keep dealing a lot of damage. When I am in perfect mode, my arrows will do the maximum amount of damage, so I will be one-shotting any single enemy that I am hitting in perfect mode, and it gives me the maximum amount of EXP. So, like I mentioned earlier, we were routing this out to be able to get maximum amount of EXP in as little kills as possible. So we will actually be routing ourselves out to where we will be getting pretty close to max level, but we will have the ability to upgrade our character. Not pretty much where we're going to get every single upgrade, because doing that would just require a lot of EXP, but we are getting a lot of EXP, the EXP that is completely necessary throughout this run. So we're gonna now fight this troll here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's gonna end the first phase. We do that specific combo because now I can start this phase in perfect mode, do 2 charge shots and a quick shot, and the troll is dead. That happened really, really fast. That was a specific combo that we used where I'm doing fierce attacks, but I'm not doing the downward swing that you would normally expect to see happening. So we do that so that way we can stun lock the troll, get ourselves into perfect mode at the exact moment that we need to be in perfect mode, and then we can progress on throughout the rest of, finish that fight and move on to the next level. We also did one of the bigger menus that we are doing. We are buying a ranged bow attack upgrade that is the Rohan bow. We are also buying a health upgrade, and we are buying rising attack. The health upgrade is purely for safety, and then rising attack is an ability that when we get knocked down, we will be able to get up faster as well as damage any enemies around us. And now, wow, that was a lot of lag. So this is Amon Hen. This is arguably the hardest level in the entire run. This is also a level that has received the most reroutes, and we're not well, I mean, we kind of know why, because there's just a lot that happens in this run, in this level. So the goal of this level, you can see up in the top right corner, there is this Uruk-hai counter. That's what the amount of enemies that I have to defeat in order to unlock the boss at the end of this level. And then there is this other meter that you can see is a health bar for Frodo. That essentially will work like a timer, but it's really just nothing that we have to worry about, because we can go through the level just so quickly that the enemies just don't, that Frodo's health bar just doesn't really matter. So this level is really, really difficult because a lot of it all comes down to enemy RNG. These Uruk-hai that we are going to be fighting, they have the most obnoxious attack that can ever happen. And that is this overhead swing. You saw those two guys just did it. That orc just hit me with it. When they do that overhead swing, not only does it knock me down, but it also gives the Uruk-hai super armor. And that super armor makes it where they don't get one shot in perfect mode when they're doing that attack. It is extraordinarily obnoxious to deal with because you have to react to those Uruk-hai and how they move and do their different things, which nobody really wants to do because we want to just be aggressive, kill the enemies quickly, and do the speed run. So I am just got a couple more fights here before I move up, before I get to the boss of this level. I'm trying to get through quickly here. Again, you can see the perfect mode being useful here. Now, in this level, we don't have to worry as much about our EXP area because we have to kill this specific number of enemies, but obviously perfect mode deals the most amount of damage, and so the more damage that we can do to enemies, then the faster enemies will die. So that ability that I just used where my sword was glowing green, because holy cow, there are so many abilities that we have to think about throughout this run. That is Ranger Fury. It is the most powerful attack that we can do, but it does require... What the heck? I've never seen the camera just not shift there. It's never happened before. But anyways, it allows us to... It allows us to deal a lot of damage, but we have to take time to charge it up. And it does take a little bit of time to do that, which makes us vulnerable, so we won't use it again. Well, we will use it again. We're actually going to use it right here. I'm really hoping that the lag on this doesn't break the strat. It kind of did, but it's okay because we have a backup. That's Lord's dead. So, with that fight that just happened, obviously, we just absolutely decimated that boss. And we did that by going through and using our Swift Terror to put us into perfect mode, and then to press and hold Y to use that Ranger Fury devastating attack. And Lurtz unfortunately broke out a little bit early. My timing was a little off, but that's okay. It happens. It's all part of the joys of a speedrun. But all we had to do was just kick him in the face and then hit him with that Ranger Fury, and it took him out. So, this next level is my personal favorite level in this entire run, and this is Fangorn Forest. Fangorn Forest, now we have completed the events of the first movie, Fellowship of the Ring, and now we are actually into the events of the Two Towers. So, Fangorn Forest is my favorite level because there are a lot of really fun strats that we're going to use. First is this fight here. We're just going to open it up with a quick Ranger Fury, get a little unlucky here. There is a goblin that I know has kind of decided he doesn't want to play. Oh, hey, he's playing now, so that's cool. So now we're going to hit him. We're going to activate this Berserker. Berserker is going to die, and that will then set us up to move on to our first troll in this level. So, this troll is a troll. And he is going to... We're going to do that similar Fierce Attack combo loop, and then we hit him with a Ranger Fury to finish him off. Nice and simple, takes him out, and nice and quick. That is another strat that's kind of had like 6 different variations of it. The one that we used to use was 2 Ranger Furies. That one was discovered by 7 Swagmuffin 7, and then another absolutely phenomenal runner, and then it was optimized by Bloody Lifetime to come up with the combinations of the Fierce Attacks and the Ranger Fury, and then I optimized it further to make it what it is today. So, yes, I know that I've just completely rambled my mouth right now, so we're going to take a little bit of time right now because there's not too much going to be happening, just backwards hopping on this river to move a little bit faster, and then we're going to hit here. So, Alara, feel free if there's any donations or anything to read off. Now is a wonderful time to do it.
Oh my goodness, I was getting ready to help out with comms, and you're just here absolutely doing an amazing job. I am speechless. That said, I've got plenty to chat with you about, but I'd rather say something that's not donations real quick. For example, did you know that we have an amazing tech team who's been working behind the scenes? But they're not the only ones. We also have an amazing staff team, and you should come join us. We have a fantastic crew. It's a fantastic place to learn. It's a great community. So maybe hop on our Discord and pay attention to the next time we make a call for volunteers or runs. That said, we're still raising money for Little Warriors, so let's make that happen. And again, if you are in the United States, conversion rate's in our favor. If you are in the UK, conversion is also in your favor. Let's make that money go even further than normal.
So this fight, this is the Horde fight. This is the fight that no matter what always goes wrong. It's probably the hardest strat in the entire game, and it is very obnoxious to deal with. So it didn't go great, but that's okay. That can very easily happen, especially in a run like this one. But I don't think I've ever actually had a run where that strat has gone well. But either way, it's fine. So we have these trolls. We're going to fight these two trolls with a fun little tactic called jump back canceling. So in majority of our combos that we do, we can actually cancel out of them by pressing Z, which does our jump back button. So by the moment our sword hits the ground, we jump back. It prevents the trolls from being able to retaliate against us, which then allowed us to go into perfect mode and in one Ranger Fury, absolutely decimate them and end the level. We love that strat. That was one that I think was another optimization by Rylan Hand. I really wish that I could say that I've had a big part in optimizing some of these strats, but honestly, this game has a really, really small community. I don't think we've ever had more than like 4 active runners at a time, and most of the time, I'm the only active runner. But honestly, this game just has just such a awesome community, and I know Kachru is here. He is another phenomenal runner. I've been bugging him. Well, I need to get back to bugging him because he has yet to get his first sub 50 in this category, and we need more sub 50s on the leaderboard. So yeah, this is now Plains of Rohan. This is where we are going to go, and oh, that fire could be scary, but never mind, we're fine. But my targeting is not. So this is where, this is one of the levels that can either be really, really good or really, really bad when you're doing runs. Because you can see up in that top right corner, there are these villagers. And those anytime a villager dies, that meter will then drain. So we obviously don't want that meter to drain too much, because if it empties out, then we will indeed fail the level. And this game is very punishing for how it handles deaths and failed objectives. There are no checkpoints. You fail a level, you restart it. And so it is very imperative that throughout this level, we move really fast to be able to get through this level quickly. Oh boy, we're fine. Everything's fine. I thought we were gonna get stuck there for a second. And the best way to move quickly, and the best way to avoid failure in this level is either by getting through the level extraordinarily quickly, which is kind of what's happening right now, or playing it uber safe. But you know, it's a speedrun. We can't always play uber safe. And my targeting is, what am I trying to shoot at? See, this is where the game can really kind of troll you, because it's choosing to aim at not the thing I needed to aim at. But thankfully, it didn't get too bad, and I'm able to just grab what I need and get going. So yeah, we're all good. Everything is all good in the hood here. As we get into this final fight in this level, we have this unfortunate couple that is going to be thrown into this burning building. And they're going to get their own separate health meter. If we do not save them by the time their health meter drains, then we fail the level. And like I said before, failing the level means multiple minutes of time loss. But thankfully, as a speedrunner, and this never happens either. Oh boy. Okay, we're fine. Whoa, scary. Scary fire. Okay. We can just go through, clear out these enemies super quickly thanks to perfect mode. Oh, my dog has officially joined the fray. I'm gonna take out the rest of these enemies and then I will show off my doggo. think that's all of them.
You have done
Perfect.
all you can
Come here, doggo.
here.
Come here.
The survivors will make for Helm's Deep. You
There's
still
my
have
doggo.
work to
This is
do.
Shadow. He's
I
adorable.
will
I
come
love
back
him.
to you at the turn of the tide.
Oh,
can't-
we love our furry friends here in Prevent-a-thon.
I had to give him a little bit of camera time, although now he's mad at me and he's leaving. He hated that I picked him up from his bed. It's okay, guy. It was worth it. Alright. So that ends Lanes of Rohan, and now we're going to move into Westfold. Westfold is another level that can be really, really scary. As we get into the later half of the run, the levels can get progressively scarier as the risk of death becomes much higher. So we have to be very, very careful on how we will progress this level, because this level introduces explosives. And obviously, explosives to medieval people and like a fantasy type setting are scary. So we have to be very, very careful. So I'm going to be trying to move through and shoot at these explosives at specific times to take out the enemies, so that way they're not in my way, and it's a lot easier than just dealing with the RNG of enemy attacks. Another nice thing about killing enemies with explosives, it actually does not give you EXP for the explosives. And so, when we do take out enemies with explosives, it doesn't add time to the end result tally that we would have to deal with at the end of the level. Makes it super nice, but that's okay, because here we go. Well, actually, I don't even know what I was trying to say there. But either way, I'm going to toss it back over to you, Alara, while I run through this level, try to avoid getting blown up. So if there's anything else to talk about here, or even if you just have a question about the run, feel free to do that right now.
I actually do have something I want to comment, and that is core memory re-unlocked for me, because I don't think it was this exact game, but suddenly I have memories of having gone to like a Blockbuster when I was little and playing a game that is very similar to this. I'm trying to remember which one of the other two movies it might have been.
It probably was Return of the King, which would have been the sequel, because that's the one most people played.
All I know is, wow, this is bringing stuff back.
That's one of the best things about this run, honestly, is just the amount of nostalgia behind it. And like for me, this was a game that I played growing up all the time. Like every couple of months or something like that, I was going in and playing through this game at least once. And when I started speedrunning, I originally started with Banjo-Kazooie, and then I got burnt out on that pretty quickly because that game is just hard to speedrun. And then I was looking at games that I was interested in speedrunning, and I found this one, and I was like, I thought about this game. I was like, I played this game a lot as a kid. I'm really interested actually in seeing what this speedrun looks like. And then I was like, holy cow, this looks super fun. So then I tried it out, and it was exactly as fun as I thought it was. And now here we are, we are playing this game, and I have gone from, well, I've definitely put the most amount of time into almost every single category, and have gone from, like most speedrunners do, thinking how in the world can I be that good at a video game, to now being the top speedrunner of this game. And I just absolutely love this game. I love the community behind this game. Also, y'all should run my speed game. I want more runners. I know right now the world record is for this specific category is 47 minutes and 57 seconds, and I really want more runners, because I have a very strong feeling that there are ways that this category can be pushed down, and I really want to see it continue to get pushed down as a speed game. And I absolutely love this game. Also, here's Sharku. We took out his goons, and now we take him out, because with specific positioning, your Ranger Fury can hit him twice. So that's amazing. All right, so now
I love the wholesome attitude of like, I want you to play my game, potentially beat my time.
Oh, absolutely. I used to be so protective over world records, but honestly, I have hit a point in my speedrunning career where I'm just like, hey, I don't care. I love this game. I want it to be faster, so help me make it faster. So, this is the biggest, as I have spent the whole time talking up this speed game, this is the biggest drawback in the entire run, and that is this level. Because we are 29 minutes into the run, and there are only 3 levels left in the game. And you're probably like, what the heck? How does that happen? Well, the game decides to grind to a screeching halt and give us an 8-minute auto-scroller. We're going to be running around kicking down ladders for 8 minutes. And this is the biggest thing that us as a community have been trying so hard to find a skip for. Because there is, at the moment, there is nothing we can do except run around and kick ladders and hope and pray that our elves keep the enemies at bay. Because you'll see up in the top right corner there, that meter. If that yellow meter fills and then starts blinking aggressively, we fail the level. And we obviously don't want to do that, because failing the level means restarting it. Which, obviously, for the sake of the marathon, I wouldn't do that, because I don't want to go through another 8 minutes of kicking down ladders, and I know that you guys here at Prevent-a-thon don't want to go through that again either. So, please help us learn how to skip this level. But yeah, this is the biggest drawback, because, you know, we just had non-stop going for 30 minutes, and now for the final 20 minutes of the run, we're just going to be stopping in these final 3 levels. But either way, this is a great time to relax. I know I've talked a lot about this game. If you have any other questions about how this speedrun works, I have spent a lot of time just trying to learn the mechanics and even discover different mechanics that we can use to make the run faster. Like, I know we had jump back animation canceling was a thing when I started, but it wasn't utilized nearly as much as it is right now. So it's definitely an incredible piece of tech. I do actually have on my YouTube, as well as on speedrun.com, there is a basic mechanics tutorial of this game where I talk about things like speed attacks, different combinations, all the different attacks you have. I break down some of the enemy guides, how each of the enemies function, their different attacks, different ways you can counter them, because there are just so many unique ways to be able to tackle strats in this game that even if you see all the stuff that I'm doing, you can very easily be like, I'm gonna actually do this different thing, and it works out great. So either way, I'm gonna stop talking for a little bit because I have not shut up for the last 30 minutes. And again, Alara, if you have any other questions, or you just have Lord of the Rings memories you want to share, go ahead and take it over. Oh, actually, real quick before I do that, because ADHD brain kicked in, you guys should donate with your favorite Lord of the Rings moments, and then they can get read out. Like, that's exactly like one of the things that these runs are great for, is reminiscing about Lord of the Rings moments. They could be in the books or in the movies. I've read both. I've read most of the books. I have seen all of the movies many, many times, and would love to share fun Lord of the Rings moments here with you guys while donating. So please, guys, do donate to Little Warriors. It's an amazing charity. And with that, Alara, now you can take it away.
Oh my goodness. So, like I said, you are absolutely doing an amazing job with commentary. I am baffled with how much you're doing all in one go. Now, I will quickly mention, I do think it was this game that I played, because, oh my goodness, this stage looks so familiar. And I kind of remember kicking down those ladders, so unless the other ones have this exact moment, which I doubt, it was probably this one. That said, I do want to remind you all, on top of raising money, we are in fact also a speedrunning event, which means we have incentives.
Whoop, whoop.
We have some stuff that end pretty soon. So, here's the list. We're going to go through them real quick. Like, first up, next, we've got Celeste. We can name that Bid War. We can name the file name in a bid war. So if you want to call it Canadian, if you want to call it Archipelago, or if you want to propose a third name, this is the time to do it. Maybe you want to name the character Legolas.
Ooh.
Well, that's your best way to tell us. Now, the next thing we've got after that, which is also tonight, hey, we've got Peggle. If you want to help us decide which Peggle we're going to run, be it Peggle Deluxe or Peggle Knights, pro tip, the runner's favorite one is Peggle Knights, just saying. But both are fantastic, and they have wildly different strats, so that is a great, great place to do it. Now, on the Lord of the Rings side of things, I love the little Lord of the Rings tidbit thing where they accidentally shoot an arrow at Viggo Mortensen, and he actually deflects it with the sword. That happens on camera. If you see a scene where Aragorn is deflecting an arrow with a sword, that's not CGI.
Nope.
That was an actual snafu that happened during recording, and he just did an Aragorn.
When they say that they like actually casted the characters, I think like it, especially with Viggo Mortensen as Aragorn, that is like one of the biggest moments, because like it was just somebody misaimed and his reflexes kicked in and they were like, okay, that was cool, that was terrifying, but that was really cool, we're putting that in the movie.
I could only imagine like the director, the producer, and everyone seeing the arrow fly and just the live deflection, just everyone's faces simultaneously dreading and in shock and going, oh, that was so cool.
Going like, oh, that was so cool, but we're never doing that again.
Yes.
Because that's another like really cool thing about these movies, is all of the weapons and armor that you see were real. Like they forged real weapons, they forged real armor. Obviously they were all like blunter than a butter knife, so that way you weren't like hurting, actually like risking somebody dying. But it was still just this incredible moments where the like all practical effects that were used, so that way everything could look and feel as if you were actually in Middle Earth, which I just absolutely love. Huge shout outs to Weta Workshop for all of the work that they've done. Alright, so we are getting close to the end of this auto-scroller. We have been surviving long enough, which is great. And I think we actually are getting out of this without any kills, which is also just really heckin' cool, because that's something that is not very likely most of the time. You'll go to kick a ladder down and you'll accidentally kick an enemy and then they will get taken out. But oh, actually, we're getting a little spooky here. We've got about 20 seconds left, and I really want this meter to stop raising. Just don't make me have to get kills. Come on. Oh, here we go. Here we go. This is the moment. Nope, that's the dud catapult. Dang it. That's another thing. Those catapults, sometimes they just don't work, which is hilarious. Okay, I think we should be fine. It's blinking, but it's not blinking ferociously, so we're out of there. Also, those catapults, I don't know if you noticed, I got hit by one and it drained my health a lot. So it was actually pretty likely that we could have died there. But thankfully, we didn't, because we got lucky and there's 3 safety healths throughout the level, so we really don't have to worry too much about it. So nice little scary moment there, but overall it was good. We got through the auto scroller, and oh no, we got 2 kills. Darn, I missed it, which means we lose like, I don't know, 0.2 seconds in the auto scroller. How dare I? But now we get to this level, which is kind of my bread and butter. This is like probably the one level that sets me apart from most other runners in this game. And I don't know what it is. I practice this level a lot and I still don't understand how it works. But this is Helm's Deep Breached Wall. This is a level where a lot of runs come to die because you are going to be spending... It's another level that feels like an auto-scroller, but there actually is going to be a lot of it of... how fast you defeat enemies will determine how fast this level goes. And we're going to be starting off by getting really, really up in the enemy's face and shooting these exploding sappers with our bow and arrow. This is just because one shot they're dead, and any time that they explode, if there are enemies nearby, then they will take them out as well without giving us any experience points, which is what we want. Because we have all of the upgrades that we need for the rest of this run. So we do not have to upgrade at all anymore. And we're actually level 9 right now, and the max level in this game is 10.
So we're actually, like, when I talked about the precision of the EXP in this is definitely like where you see it come out, because we were able to get everything that we needed at exactly the right moment. Also, now that we have hit level 9, we have access to Isildur's Judgment again, which is that ability that we used in the prologue to be able to get the maximum amount of EXP early on. It is hands down the most useful ability, and it works out super nicely to take out enemies quickly and get into perfect mode. And like I said before, perfect mode gets us the maximum amount of damage, so the more times that we are in perfect mode, the faster enemies will be getting taken out. We've also fully upgraded our bow. We have fully upgraded Ranger Fury to be a ability known as Wrath of Numenor, which will then not only do a lot of damage to enemies, but if for some reason they survive, they get set on fire, which then makes it a lot easier to obviously take them out, because most of the time we can just hit them with this. We take out a good chunk of enemies, and then a few of them get away, but that's just kind of like par for the course for this level. If somebody was able to come up with individual like wave strats for this, that would be insane. I've thought about it. My attention span does not allow me to dedicate that much time to stratting out one level. But if you do want to do that, hey, I highly recommend it. This game, I know there are a lot more strats that can be discovered. So the more strats that we can find, the faster this game can be, and even cooler speedrun it can be. So we are actually getting kind of close to the end of this first chunk of enemies, because each wave has kind of unique properties. This specific wave, you can tell when you're getting close to the end of the first chunk of enemies, because in this particular wave, never mind, we're gonna just get blown up and we'll be fine. Those shield enemies that showed up, they are more most of the time the enemies are going to be focused on that door that has that health bar up in the top corner. But that last wave that we had is the shield enemies focus more on us and allow for the axe orcs to go for the door, which we actually refer to them in the community as Beyblades, because they have this really obnoxious spin attack, and so we call them Beyblades because they're spinning. And I don't know, anything that spins to me is just a Beyblade, because that's just what I did as a kid, was played with Beyblades and Pokemon and any other like collectible thing that you could for children's, except for Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! Was like the one thing in that era that I did not get into, which is really funny, and a lot of people are surprised by it, but that's what happens. Alright, so you can see here this guy did not get taken out by that sapper. We're just going to hit him with the Wrath of Numenor, and then we're going to take out these last few enemies. We're waiting for this Berserker to show up here. Take him out. And I need to take out these enemies in order to spawn the next Berserker. Oop, I got a little unlucky there, but that's fine. We're good! Alright, so now we're going to... that catapult is definitely not foreshadowing at all. Don't worry about it. I just got hit with a log. That's fine. I'm getting a lot more lag as this run is getting later on. I appreciate you guys dealing with my Amorex / capture card lagging out a little bit. It can be
You are perfectly fine. We appreciate you. You are doing such a great job. Like, let it be known that Zojalyx is actually doing so much here. Like, on top of everything, like just turning on the stream for me back behind the scenes, you are just multitasking, and I applaud you. You are absolutely amazing and a trooper. We cannot thank you enough for the amazing job you're doing.
I got a amazing sapper push. Okay, so what I was doing there with that explodey boy, that was actually completely intentional because it made it so that way when this catapult spawned, the sapper blew up in the group of enemies, and now that catapult's gone. That might actually unironically be a gold split. I don't know. I will know once all the cutscenes and everything are done. But, like, that was honestly mind-boggling at how good that sapper push, like, that stall was. It is very hard to position that sapper in that specific position. And normally that section from the, like, with that catapult becomes so chaotic because all of those enemies are there all trying to kill you at once. I have had multiple runs die because it's so chaotic, and then archers throw these like little fire bombs that put these fire pits, and then you're just stuck in a fire pit and your health just drains, and it's just, you're just in a state of complete sadness. And yes, this is a massive gold split of about 9 seconds, which for how long I've been running this game, most of the time my golds are half a second. So to get a 9-second gold is huge. And just like that, I'm already like, I'm perfectly fine. I don't care what happens with the rest of this run. That made the entire run. I am going to be going back and highlighting that so that way the community can see this. So with that, we are now into the final level in the run, which is Hornburg Courtyard. Another absurdly chaotic level. This is another level that is an absolute mystery to the rest of the community, because we know that the level, like, advances by how fast you kill things, but we don't know what enemies you're supposed to kill and what position it looks like. So, at least for this opening section, the rest of the level, we understand. This part, this specific part of the level, we just don't know. And it ends up becoming so random that you could have a Hornburg Courtyard that averages around like the 430 range, and that's perfectly fine because you just don't know what could happen. And now I just got another golden split, so that's another really random moment.
My gosh.
That's really cool. So we're actually now with this level, real quick, we're going to be doing actually a skip, which we haven't done in the entirety of this run. So we're going to be going for a cutscene skip here. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to do a quick Ranger of Fury. Oh, and I messed it up because I got really unlucky, but that's fine. What happened is we wanted to leave one of the Uruk-hai there for Legolas to kill, but unfortunately, they were positioned really poorly, so when I used the Wrath of Numenor, I killed the 2 regular Uruk-hai and left the captain, and we can't leave the captain standing because Legolas, for some reason, cannot kill the captain. But that's okay. It's only a minor time loss. We just get to see, and plus, you get to see that cutscene of Gimli kind of going off, doing really, like, being really cool, which you don't see a lot of in this run. If you go back onto the Angus page and you read my description, I literally talk about how big of a meme the Gimli run is, because Gimli just spins and he has like janky hitboxes and everything. It's a funny run because it's so janky you just can't help but laugh at it.
I love it.
So now in this part, we're going to be killing these Uruk-hai. We're going to be looking for a very specific cue here that will let me know to advance. Legolas is kind of getting all up in my business, and not in a way that's, like, helpful. So we're going to try and take out this guy. There we go. Okay, that's archers. That's great. So I'm just going to let this note here. Time is going to be coming up in about a minute. We have to take out these archers, and then we have to kill a few more enemies to then trigger the final trolls to spawn. So I have to put myself in a very specific position. Oh, I got a little unlucky there. Oh, this is getting actually really unlucky. Oh, come on. See, this is berserkers, and ooh, my health is a little scary right now. I need to get to that health that is over there. Oh, there's one here. Okay, we're fine. Everything's fine. Okay, we are going to just go ahead and swipe these guys. Okay, that section got a little scary, but we're fine. We're just gonna take these guys out. And then we have to take out a certain amount of these berserkers. Perfect, we did that. Okay, so time will come up once this cutscene once we kill these trolls. So it is coming very, very, very close. So we're hoping that... So we just need to take them out with our Wrath of Numenor. Oh, this berserker is... Oh, there's another berserker in a annoying spot. And... time. And that was the Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, Aragorn, easy. That was I know, the run just kind of like, we had that one stop with Deeping Wall, but it is a run that just go, 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 go. It is super fast.
I am absolutely speechless. You have been amazing. This run is so fun to watch. I have nothing to say other than I had a blast. Thank you so much for showing this off. Hey, if maybe we wanted to follow you, is there any way we could maybe shout out where you're going to be if you're streaming?
Yeah, so you can follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Zojalyx. I have a YouTube channel that is very specific for my speedrunning and just nerdy content in general. It is Zojalyx the Nerd. I post a lot of Lord of the Rings like lore videos. I'm going to be diving into other things like some Kingdom Hearts lore videos. I mean, I go into complete nerdy stuff. And then I also have an esports dedicated channel because besides being a speedrunner and content creator, I also do freelance esports shoutcasting. So if you guys are running any esports and stuff, then you definitely will want to hire me to shoutcast your esports competitions because I love it. It's super fun. But yeah, I am a huge nerd. I do anything gaming related. I do all that kind of fun stuff. I stream fairly often. I do a lot of randomizers, Lord of the Rings speedruns. I'll be running the sequel game here. Return of the King. I will be running that on Saturday, which I just got a really huge world record in that category as well. So you'll definitely want to check that run. It is going to be a phenomenal run, and I'm very excited. So, the Lord of the Rings Return of the King coming Saturday. I'm using that because it did this whole thing, which I think is really funny. Anyways, I'm just going to give quick speedrun shoutouts to the community. Katru, Rylan Hand, 7 Swag Muffin, 7. Bloody Lifetime, Caladair, Huginator, all of the incredible runners of this game. Please do give them love as well. Run my speed game. Also, this game is sick. We really want more runners to see this community thrive. So please do run this game. It's really easy to get into. There are 1,000 resources on speedrun.com to get into running this game. So please, 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 please run this speed game. Yeah. I will give more shout outs at my Return of the King run on Saturday. So yeah, that'll do it for me. Thank you guys again for having me, Prevent-a-thon. This was an absolute blast, and I absolutely loved being a part of this event.
All right. Thank you so much for being here, Zojalyx, and I will be right back to chat with y'all in just one moment. Hey folks, I'm right here, and you know, we've been having a fantastic time. I think we need to take a short little breather. So, we're gonna run a quick little ad break, and during that, I need you to stay tuned, go get some water, take a quick stretch, but come right back before we jump into more content for Prevent-a-thon. So, enjoy, and I'll see you in a couple minutes. Hey, folks, friendships. I hope you're having a fantastic time. Welcome back. Thank you for sticking around. And like I said, we've got plenty of Prevent-a-thon left. But this is the end of my shift for the night. So I'm going to bid you all adieu and hand you off to the fantastic 3Pup. She's going to be taking over as host for the next little bit. You are in very capable hands. So I'm going to join you in the audience and enjoy the rest of this event for the night. Bye.
Alrighty. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Prevent-a-thon for raising money for Little Warriors. I am 3Pup. I will be your host to close out the night, our first night. We have a pair of great runs ahead, but before we get to that, I did want to speak a bit about our charity and just say that Little Warriors are survivors. They are children and adult survivors of child sexual abuse, learning to heal their hearts, bodies, and minds. They are trying to understand that the guilt and shame that they may feel is not their burden to carry, but belongs to their perpetrator. They are learning to love and be honest with themselves, and while learning to accept love and support from the people who care about them most. Little Warriors is a just great, incredible cause, so please be sure to get your donations in today as well as the rest of the weekend as well. But speaking on the runs we have coming up, our next run coming up is a game that's very near and dear to my heart. Celeste. That's a very special game to me. And I'm very excited to get to introduce the game for all of you.